Arch Rivals Football, in collaboration with the Playmakers blog, presents Bearing Down the Gridiron, sponsored by NFLShop.com, Fanatics, and Points.com. Here are your hosts for the show, Alex, the Bear Man Al-Kazzaz, and Darnell, the Playmaker Sallins. Executively produced by Ricky, a.k.a. the Master of Mayhem, Litwinkowich. Kickoff starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? We are here. It is the most important week of the college football season. And you know we was not going to miss out on this one. To the right of me, as you see, the Bear Man of Texas, Al-Kazzaz. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And y'all know me, the Playmaker down the south out here in Florida. And we finna jump right into it. We're not wasting no time. So we're going to go straight into it. Let's get to the group. As you see on Thanksgiving Day, Mississippi State upset 20th ranked Ole Miss 24-22. So we kicked it off Thanksgiving weekend with an upset.
I'm 0-1.
Then we get to Friday, Black Friday, the American Conference. The winner of this game goes to the American Championship to face off against UCF. It was in the Queen City of Cincinnati as the Bearcats ranked 24 was hosting 19 ranked Tulane. And as you can see, 27-24 Tulane wins. So they are in the American Championship with a rematch against UCF. We will get to that later. Down in Texas, where Bear Man is at Austin, Texas. 23rd ranked Texas hosting Baylor. Longhorns double-digit win, 38-27.
That was a bad game. Quinn Ewers, the quarterback, it was horrible.
They got the W.
Yeah.
That was the other upset that took place to kick off Thanksgiving weekend. Because in the state of North Carolina, it was the battle for North Carolina between the 17th-ranked Tar Heels hosting the NC State Wolfpack. And, my goodness, a missed field goal by the Tar Heels in overtime gave the Wolfpack the 30-27 win in Chapel Hill.
Now I'm 0-1. Now I'm probably 0-2.
And then down in Tallahassee, Florida, it was the Sunshine State battle between the 16th-ranked Florida State Seminoles against a very short-handed Florida Gators team who did not have 5 wide receivers on that trip. Nevertheless, what a compelling game it was back in Florida Fair, but Jordan Travis leads the Florida State Seminoles to the 9-3 record with a 45-38 win over the Florida Gators. Anything stood out to you from Thanksgiving and Black Friday?
Bad record for me. It was a horrible week for me as far as college football goes.
That was Thursday and Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Last Saturday.
There you go.
The Big Ten East was on the line at the Horseshoe as number 2 Ohio State hosted 3rd-ranked Michigan. And there's something about that second half in Michigan because they did it to the Buckeyes this time. And
on this page, I'm 0-3. I am 0-3 on this page.
They beat the brakes off Ohio State in the second half to a final score of 45-23.
Check this out. This is Michigan's first win in Columbus since 2002.
The first time they won back-to-back games in this rivalry since 2000.
And their first win in Columbus since 2002.
This is the last time they won back-to-back games.
Yeah. I was 9 years old when that happened.
But let's keep the upset theme rolling because in South Carolina, Clemson, South Carolina to be exact, the battle for South Carolina between the number 8 ranked team, the Clemson Tigers, hosting the South Carolina Gamecocks. And my goodness, 31 Gamecocks, 30 Tigers.
How could Clemson do that? Blow a lead? What what kind of lead was it? Was it like, what, 21 points?
I don't have the numbers in front of me right now, but I can't get them to you. But yeah, the Gamecocks upset Dabo Sweeney and company. Who saw that coming? Please, because I didn't see it coming.
I'm telling you, yeah, wait till you see how bad I did. I mean, yeah, that's it.
Clemson jumped out to a 14-0 lead in the first quarter. They led 23-14 in the second at halftime. And South Carolina took over from there. But the upsets continue because the Bluegrass State was up for grabs between the Louisville Cardinals, 25 ranked in the poll, finally ranked in the poll, going against the Kentucky Wildcats. And that hot streak got put out by the Wildcats because the Wildcats took out the Cardinals 26-13. And then the battle for Alabama, it was the road tie. Alabama rolling Auburn 49-27. No surprise here. But speaking of upsets, you see the thing that's going on here? This is called Rivalry Week. We already hit like what, four or five upsets right now, and we're going to number 6 because in Corvallis, Oregon, ladies and gentlemen, it was the 9th ranked Oregon Ducks on the road to take on 21st ranked Oregon State, and Oregon had a 31-10 lead. What does the final score say?
38-34, Oregon State.
That's right. Oregon State went on to outscore Oregon 28-3 midway through the third quarter to the rest of the game. Oregon blew an opportunity of playing in the Pac-12 championship.
Well, then we're even. Except my pick didn't even come close.
And then, Fort Worth, Texas. Number 4 TCU hosting Iowa State, and they did not leave no doubts whatsoever. 62-14. I do believe this is the most points TCU scored this season, Birdman.
Mm-hmm. And TCU's in the Big 12 championship now.
Yep.
Well, I should say, well, they know who they're playing. They've been in the championship game for like over 3 weeks now.
Then a primetime game out in LA, California at the Coliseum, where 6th ranked the Trojans of USC was hosting 15th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish. In a game that was tricky to predict because how Notre Dame been playing lately, but Caleb Williams, Lincoln Riley, and the Trojans leave no doubt of who was going to win the game. 38-27. Big win for the USC Trojans as they find themselves in the Pac-12 championship game. Then we go to the Sunflower State of Kansas. Manhattan, Kansas, ladies and gentlemen. It is simple. If Kansas State beats Kansas, they're in the Big 12 championship.
And they did. So we got that rematch.
Kansas State 47, Kansas 27. Kansas State is in the Big 12 championship game. And then we had the Battle of the Apple Cup, ladies and gentlemen, up in Pullman, Washington, where the Washington Cougars hosted 13th-ranked Huskies of Washington. Washington left no doubts of who owns the state of Washington.
51-33.
51-33. Then they beat down over epic proportions, thus sending somebody else to the Pac-12 championship. And you'll find out when we get to that game. So we're going to take a break right here, and then when we come back, we're going to dive into our campus tour, championship week style.
Championship week. Yes.
Paint Train Pipe Bomb Productions and the Playmakers blog are now both partnered with Fanatics. Fanatics is now your new home for all fan merchandise from the MLB, the NFL, the NBA, the NHL, MLS, NASCAR, WWE, international soccer leagues, and golf. Check out the links below for everyday deals on fanatics.com.
The Playmakers bar is proudly to announce that it lettered a partnership deal with Paramount Plus. Paramount Plus. Stream live sports from any device that you have, whether it is your computer, laptop, or even your cellular device. Catch breaking news live when it happens, and enjoy a mountain of entertainment from movies to shows to whatever you love doing. Paramount Plus. Plan starts at $4.99 a month, but right now you can get a free trial. Just hit that link below with the Playmakers blog and start your free trial right now. Paramount Plus, Mountains of Entertainment. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, it's time to go Champions Tour Championship Week style, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see right here, game that has already kicked off down in Texas. The North Texas Eagles taking on the University of Texas San Antonio Roadrunners for the Conference USA Championship. Now, Bearman, this game has officially kicked off. I have an idea who you want to win, but is that your pick to win?
Yeah.
You're
sticking with my alma mater.
He's sticking with his alma mater. He's going North Texas, ladies and gentlemen, to defeat the Roadrunners in Championship Week, while I am going UTSA on this one. I think the Roadrunners will win the Conference USA for a second year in a row. Shout out to them. They have been on this a stellar season. They have been winning games left and right. They have showed that last year was not a fluke. And I think they will continue to show that it's not a fluke. But shout out to your alma mater, Bearman, for making it to the conference championship game. I will give them props as due.
Come on, beat those beat me.
All right. Then later on, and then in about good old 15 minutes on Fox, ladies and gentlemen, on Fox, we have the Pac-12 championship between the 11th-ranked Utah Utes versus the number 4 ranked USC Trojans at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. It is simple, Bearman. If USC avenges their only loss on their season, that one in their 11-1 record, if they can avenge that loss, they will be in the college football playoffs. If they stumble, however, to the team that already beat them, the door is open for one Ohio State. Bearman, I give you Utah Utes, USC Trojans, round 2.
And that's why I'm going USC.
He's going with the Trojans. Just for the hell of it, I'm picking Utah. I never pick USC. It's a thing. I don't know why. It's just a thing now. I don't pick USC for anything. Those are your games for tonight that are coming up. Then we get to tomorrow. This is where the fun begins, Bearman. College game day will be at Bearman's favorite stadium, AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where it is the 10th-ranked Kansas State Wildcats taking on the 3rd-ranked TCU Horned Frogs. These two teams met a while back in October when TCU came back from a 21-point deficit to beat Kansas State in Fort Worth, Texas, to stay unbeaten. Bearman, it is round 2 for your Horned Frogs. How do you feel about this one?
I'm solidified. I'm sticking with TCU.
Are you nervous though?
No.
Remember, this is the same team that was up 21 at your own building before losing it.
Well, TCU will know not to make that mistake again.
All right, he's saying TCU would not make that mistake again, so he's going TCU. I've been going back and forth on this one. Vegas only giving TCU 1.5, so you know how they feel about this game. ESPN is at 54% TCU Horned Frogs. I'm prepared for another high-scoring affair, to be honest with you. I'm going to pick TCU, but there's a part of me saying that If Kansas State jump out to that 21 lead again, TCU will not be coming back and winning that one. I'm just letting you know, okay?
All right. Well, they
If,
better not.
if Kansas get a big lead again, I don't think Kansas State is going to let that one go. Okay? That's just my feeling on that one right now. From Arlington, Texas, ladies and gentlemen, all the way to Detroit, Michigan, ladies and gentlemen, at Ford Field for the MAC championship between the Toledo Rockets and the Ohio Bobcats. Now, we haven't done a lot of Group 5 talk like we did last season, so for the sake of giving information to my buddy Bearman here, we have the Toledo Rockets have a 75 record. Ohio has a 93 record. ESPN, however, is favoring the Rockets by 54.5%. And Vegas is giving 3 to the Rockets. Bearman.
I don't even know. Just give me Toledo.
He's going Toledo. I'm going Ohio. Oh, and by the way, for those y'all who don't know, because y'all pretty didn't see, I didn't show y'all the records right now from last week. Both of us went 3-3. So let's just show y'all this real quick. I still hold a 5-game lead on Bearman right now, which makes this week championship week that more important. So Bearman has to do better than me by half the games.
It's over.
They make it so difficult for you, don't they? But nevertheless, keep it going. Henry, what's going on, man? Good job. Good. Thank you for joining us. He's picking USC tonight. He's going TCU. And he got his other pick in there, but I'll get to that in a minute. From the MAC conference to the Sun Belt Conference, ladies and gentlemen. Guess what Troy is at, Bearman?
Troy?
Do you have any idea where Troy is located at?
Yeah, it's in Alabama.
So that's where we're going. We're going to
That's
Troy.
that's DeMarcus Ware's alma mater.
We're going to Troy, Alabama. Where, ladies and gentlemen, we have Coastal Carolina playing against Troy in Troy's backyard for the Sun Belt Conference. Troy has a 10-2 record on the season. Coastal Carolina 9-2 record on the season. Coastal Carolina's coming off a blowout loss to James Madison, 47-7. While Troy is coming off a beatdown of Arkansas State at Arkansas State, 48-19. As of right now, Vegas is laying 8-2 to Troy, and ESPN is saying 74% Troy there, man.
I got Troy.
He's going Troy. And I'm looking at these numbers here. This could be an interesting battle here. But for the record, and just to make things more fun, I'm going to go Coastal Carolina just to make things a little more interesting for you, okay? All right, from there we go to the SEC. 4 p.m. on CBS. SEC championship game between the LSU Tigers, ranked 14th in the poll, going up against the Georgia Bulldogs, the number 1 team in the land, the reigning defending national championship champions. And yeah, none of these numbers are good numbers there, man. 17.5 from Vegas, 83 from ESPN. And I believe we're both picking the same team on this one. We're going UGA on this one, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's good to see Alabama not in it.
We're going UGA. Nobody believes that LSU has a chance in winning this game. They probably don't, because Georgia has been that good of a team. So from the SEC down to the Mountain West, we have, ladies and gentlemen, Fresno State 8-4 going to the Bluegrass, the actual Bluegrass of Boise, Idaho, to take on the 9-3 Boise Broncos. Vegas is laying 3 to the home team. ESPN, it says 69% home team. Let's see. Fresno State has won their last 5 games, beating San Diego State, Wyoming, UNLV, Nevada, and Hawaii. As the Broncos are coming off winning 3 straight after losing to BYU early in the month of November, they have beaten Nevada, Wyoming, and Utah State. Now, to make things a little more difficult for my co-host here, points per game, Fresno State is at 31. Boise is at 30. Points allowed per game, Fresno State is at 21. Boise is at 18. We have a Bluegrass, and we have Broncos and Bulldogs, Bearman.
Boise State.
He's going Boise. I'm going Boise too. I like the Broncos at home. From Boise, Idaho, all the way down to New Orleans, Louisiana. Because this is a rematch from earlier in the season at the same place, in the same building, between the same two teams. That is 22nd ranked, the Knights of UCL, taking on the 18th ranked Green Wave of Tulane. These two teams met back on November 12th, where UCF Knights beat then 17 ranked Tulane Green Waves 38-31 in a very back and forth game. This time it is round 2. Vegas is giving 4 to the Green Wave, and ESPN is saying 59% Green Wave. So, Bearman, are you following Vegas and ESPN? Or are you going your own way?
I'm going my own way. And I say Tulane gets it done this time.
He's going Tulane. I'm going in a different direction. I'm going UCF. I say the Knights do it back-to-back and win the American Conference. By the way, the winner of this game, Bearman, gets a New Year's Six bid. So who gets to go to a New Year's Six Bowl? This will be determined by the winner of this game.
And Tulane.
From New Orleans, Louisiana, all the way up to Indianapolis, Indiana, the Big Ten championship game, 8 o'clock, Fox. We're talking Purdue against number 2, Michigan.
This is a no-brainer. We all know Michigan's going to destroy them.
You don't want the numbers?
Well, you can go ahead, but Michigan's on fire.
Purdue is 8-4 on the season. Michigan is 12-0. Purdue is coming off winning 3 in a row. They beat 21 ranked Illinois in Illinois. They beat Northwestern, and they beat Indiana on the road. While Michigan is undefeated, so that tells you who they are, who are they beating. 16.5 Vegas, 89% ESPN. And Henry's going to Michigan as well. And then our final game of championship week takes us to Charlotte, North Carolina. The ACC championship game. A game that we knew weeks prior what was going to happen. But since then, some things have taken place, Bearman. It took some steam out of this game, shall I say.
Mm-hmm.
We have the Clemson Tigers at 10-2, ranked 9th in the country. They took a loss. They beat down loss at Notre Dame back on November 5th. They beat Louisville and Miami afterwards before losing to South Carolina, as we recapped earlier in the show. And then on the North Carolina side, they was on a high. They had beaten Pitt, Virginia, and Wake Forest before taking a surprising loss to the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And then getting beat in upset fashion by their arch rival of NC State. 7.5 is for the Orange. 77% to the Orange team. Tigers, Tar Heels, Bearman.
Clemson.
He's going Clemson. I've been going back and forth on this because Clemson is not Clemson. It is strange to me to see Clemson like this. In North Carolina, they have a problem with winning high powerful games. Like But I'm gonna go Clemson. Because I think that was gonna get them boys ready after losing to Carolina. I mean, you better be up and ready for the ACC championship game. Because now, if you can lose to South Carolina, people might think anybody can beat y'all now. So I have to say. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a 5-game difference there, man. So either you're gonna tie with me, or I'm just gonna outright win. But nevertheless, anything you want to say about championship week that we have coming up that's already kicked off with your alma mater taking on
May the best teams win. That's all I can say.
And to give you a quick update, Raza, right now the game is tied 7-7. Both teams have scored touchdowns on their opening drives. So with that being said, this short version of Bearing Down the Gridiron, that's the Bearman of Texas. I was like, I ain't the Playmaker down in the South Side here in Florida. We'll catch y'all later, because after this, we will know the bowl games. We will know who's playing New Year's 6, and we know who is in the playoffs.
You've just experienced Bearing Down the Gridiron, featuring your hosts, Alex the Bearman Al-Kazzaz and Darnell the Playmaker Sallins. Executive production is done by Ricky, the master of Mayhem Litwinkowich. Click that like button and subscribe so you'll be notified when a new Bearing Down the Gridiron episode is live on the air. Check out our sponsor links down below for everyday deals on Fanatics, NFLshop.com, and Points.com. Need merch? Check out www.paintrainpipebomb.threadless.com for quality merchandise at amazing prices. Tune in again next time for Bearing